Making It Personal with Bishop William Joensen on Iowa Catholic Radio and iowacatholicradio.com.
Welcome to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen. I'm Kelly Metro Collins with the Diocese of Des Moines. On today's show, we're visiting with Jason Anderson, the new Executive Director of St. Thomas More Center in Panora, home to Catholic Youth Camp. Jason has more than 2 decades of experience in executive leadership, youth development, program development, staff training, and more. He also has experience with outdoor camps and programs. But before we get to today's interview, let's find out what's on the Bishop's mind.
Good morning, Kelly. And
Morning.
We're already moving into the mid part of May. I think prom season has finally subsided, but first Holy Communions, certainly, feeding our young people with the Lord in that way. Probably getting ready for some graduations and commencements, many of our families. And so signature moments for them and benchmark moments that are there. And also confirmation as well. We're continuing to apply this the sacred chrism to the foreheads of our young people. Did so at All Saints in Des Moines. Tomorrow we'll be at Corpus Christi in Council Bluffs and Our Lady of the Holy Rosary in Glenwood. And then we're going to stay in the land of the Les Hills and do that on Sunday. Mother's Day will be at St. Pat's in Missouri Valley and St. Anne Logan parishes coming together. And then the Baccalaureate Mass at St. Albert Catholic School on Sunday, Mother's Day. So maybe a Mother's Day gift for they're actually graduating and then these young people. So hopefully we'll have a little bouquet for them in terms of the words, but just that celebratory spirit. So mothers, of course, always deflecting the light off of themselves and basking in their children as Mary in this month. We think about the whole month of May, concluding with the Feast of the Visitation in so many ways and accompanying their children, their young people. We think about the discernment and decisions that are still happening. Maybe some have kind of charted the next path and step that they're taking, but this overall sense of a call from Jesus to follow him, the Good Shepherd. The month kind of began at the end with the World Day of Prayer for Vocations. We can think about it in the broader sense, but we can also think about that more specific sense where God may be calling some of our people to serve the church in a way and to lay down their lives in this particular way. I think each of the vocations needs particular graces, bears their own particular crosses, but also their particular joys and consolations that go with it. The Holy Father continues to reflect on that amazing moment, an unexpected moment for him, when on the 21st of September, 1953, he was on a way to an annual school celebration, and he was just prompted to stop by a church and go to confession. And he says, that day changed my life and left a mark that endured to the present day, where I think ultimately it opened him up to his calling and obviously the shepherd of shepherds now, how that might happen. But he wants all of us as baptized persons to see the entirety of our lives as a mission. I am a mission on this earth. That is why I'm here in this world. And this is a chance to give joyful witness, material, spiritual works of mercy, a gentle and welcoming way of life, not afraid of closeness, but to offer compassion and tenderness, and to combat the culture of waste and indifference in this way. We think about Dr. Henry last week speaking to us about, the one who came to serve, not to be served. But it's always, I think, going to be sparked and catalyzed in this way where the profound experience in the company of Jesus. And I think many of us who are priests or religious can point to a distinctive moment. For me, I know just returning to Mass on Easter Sunday after serving the Easter Vigil, and this burning sense of He is risen and how that made such an impact seismically in my own life in this way. But our common vocation to give ourselves in love and to find concrete expression in the lay vocation devoted to raising families as a small domestic church, or in the testimony of the consecrated women and men who are committed to God for the sake of their brothers, to become prophetic in this way, but only in relation with others, not by a kind of independent life project does any particular vocation disclose its nature and richness. So he speaks of kind of a vocational symphony going together, united but distinct in harmony, radiating this new life of the gospel for us. And so our prayer, as with St. Paul VI, O Jesus, divine shepherd of souls, you called the apostles and made them fishers of men. Continue to draw to yourself ardent and generous souls from among the young, in order to make them your followers and your ministers. Give them a share in your thirst for the redemption of all. Open before them the horizons of the entire world. By responding to your call, may they prolong your mission here on earth, build up your mystical body, which is the church, and be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. That's our prayer. That's our prayer for the Diocese of Des Moines, for our other dioceses touched by the Spirit Catholic Radio and Iowa Catholic Radio Network, and for our young people. May we be well seasoned with the Spirit that bears fruit in vocations to the priesthood.
We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen.
Thank you to our business partner, Chip In for Charity, the St. Vincent de Paul Golf Fundraiser to fight hunger, Thursday, May 25th at Copper Creek Golf Course, 10 a.m. shotgun start. For registration and sponsorship opportunities, visit svdpdsm.org.
Iowa Catholic Radio would like to thank our business partner, Elite Glass and Metal, LLC in Johnston, a full-service glass and glazing contractor serving Des Moines and surrounding areas. New construction, existing projects, and residential. Learn more at eliteGlassandMetal.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by the Sarah Vocations Ministry, including the St. Sarah Club of Des Moines and the Sarah Club of Council Bluffs. Sarah is an apostolate of the Worldwide Catholic Church dedicated to fostering and supporting priesthood and religious vocations. Sarahans strive to accomplish their mission through prayer, fellowship, and service to the bishop, priests, sisters, and all in religious formation, and in doing so to increase their own holiness. Learn more at joinsarah.org, joinserra.org. Thank you, Sarahans, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Welcome back to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen. On today's show, we're visiting with Jason Anderson, the new executive director of St. Thomas More Center in Panora, home to Catholic Youth Camp. Jason has more than 2 decades experience in executive leadership, youth development, program development, staff training, and more. He also has experience with outdoor camps and programs.
So, Jason, welcome to the show. Thank you. And thank you for saying yes to the position here in the Diocese of Des Moines, migrating from southwest Wisconsin and making your way. Wisconsin, that state of so much, we laugh about sometimes, from the movie The Straight Story, the party state, but you're about more intentional celebration and fun, and yet forming young people. It's been part of your vocation, both as a husband, but as a director of youth camps for some time. Just a little bit maybe about your background and, what opened you up to considering coming to St. Thomas More Center.
Sure. Well, good morning, Bishop. Good morning, Kelly. Thanks so much for having me. I did grow up in Wisconsin in the Milwaukee area, and I was thinking about this. The earliest experience was at the South Daycare Center of St. Joseph when I was in preschool, kindergarten. My kindergarten teacher was Sister Samuel. And then I went to St. Roman Catholic Parish in Milwaukee, then on to St. Thomas More Center, which kind of a neat full circle moment for me now being at the St. Thomas More. I was at the St. Thomas More High School, and now I'm here at the St. Thomas More Center. And then I almost went to Marquette University in Milwaukee, and then because of a scholarship, I ended up going to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and had a
that
great
small little
experience.
place, yeah. 50,000 of you.
And so anyway, after college, I did go back to Milwaukee for a little bit, then came back and met my person who became my wife, Kim, and she introduced me to her parish, Blessed Sacrament Parish in Madison, and that became my home parish for many years. And there I did some catechism and some, for many years, was a sponsor and small group leader for confirmation. And so that's really where I was introduced to the power of retreats and these kinds of experiences. And while doing that, professionally, I was running youth camps, after-school programs, before-school programs, day camps of various kinds. But this opportunity at the St. Thomas More Center kind of blends my faith history with my professional history running camps. And it's just when I saw the opportunity, definitely wanted to. Because
it was a Christian-based camp that you were serving, is that right?
It wasn't. No, the camps that I did were secular, and so. But I spent many years, volunteering as a retreat leader and small group leader. So this was really an opportunity to combine my professional experience with those secular camps and youth development programs with my faith and the work I had done in youth ministry as a volunteer.
Oh, so, well, this jewel, which is the St. Thomas More Center, obviously, and the Catholic Youth Camp that's sprung up as a midst of that. And then, you've got 2 sons, and your sons are also going to be migrating a little bit. You let them finish out the year. The one son graduated from high school, right? Always,
yes, he is graduating, and so we're letting him finish that out. And then he's going to actually go to Iowa Western Community College, and he wants to study audio engineering. So for many years, he's taken lessons and has done things on his own, recording music and doing various things with sound, but he's ready to make that a career for himself. So this setting here, kind of a radio studio maybe.
We'll have to see about getting him an internship here at Iowa Catholic Radio, in a Western branch or something, in that way. And we'll hope that he'll, in the shadow of St. Patrick's Parish there with Father James Ahankara and Father Max Carson, hopefully that, serving that larger community of Iowa Western in the Spirit Catholic Radio area as well. And you found a home now as well in Panora, right?
Yes, we're very excited to find a home on the eastern edge of Panora, so we're really close to camp, to the St. Thomas More Center, and not too far from West Des Moines and Des Moines, so we're really excited about finding our home.
Yeah. You were kind of batching it a little bit at the camp, right, through the cold winter months and everything as you arrived? And
still doing that. I'm still, we don't have any furniture in the house yet, so I'm still at the retreat center, and I'm so thankful for that opportunity, and it really helped me to get to know the St. Thomas More Center so well, and also spend some time with the retreat groups that have been coming, and so because I've been living on site, I've had a chance to worship with them and hear some beautiful talks and meet a number of wonderful young people and leaders. So I hope to continue that because I'm living, close. So I look forward to that.
Yeah. So on the receiving end, I know I was there for the Radix retreat over Passion Sunday weekend and things. And so the young people, bringing their own zest for life and everything else. But maybe a few other critters have made their way into your quarters or not? I mean,
yes, the retreat house is definitely
as an
home
outdoor
to
man.
not just me. Yeah, there's the mice like to make their home in there. And now that the weather's warmer, we have a lot of flies and little beetles, those little...
the Chinese beetles.
Yeah, they love the windowsills.
So you're in the spirit of St. Francis. You've made your home, but
yes. You've welcomed them all.
I have welcomed them. Yep.
Yeah. So, but I think you're kind of a man who's familiar with the rugged winters and and the temperate climates of the Midwest. So, but hopefully the spiritual climate's been more friendly and receptive in that way. What are some things about the St. Thomas More Center that you see as part of its charism, things that you've inherited, and possible areas where you might see you'd like to have further development? Obviously, the campus has been enhanced by the cabins and everything that have taken root. What are some other things that kind of strike you? I think it's always important when you're first in a new place that you don't just say, well, you kind of become inured after 6 months to a year, but things are still vivid for you.
I think the thing that strikes me the most is how so many people have such a special connection to the St. Thomas More Center, whether I'm talking to families, campers, staff, donors. As I've had an opportunity to meet people, they're just such a special place for so many, many people. So I feel very humbled to be in a position to lead in a place like that that's so important to so many people. Yes, the cabins are beautiful, and they really serve not only the summer campers, but because they're heated and winterized, we can have retreat groups there year round. So that was just a beautiful addition. And we definitely have plans, for some additional improvements on the site, but it's just such a beautiful place. Maybe
the pool will get some attention at some point.
Yeah, the pool. It's going to be time to update the pool, and since we have to do that anyway, we're going to make some upgrades. We're looking to have it be a zero depth entrance to the pool so that we can even have it be for our youngest campers and people with varying abilities. It would be an upgrade for that purpose as well. So. But as far as the programming, the camp is obviously very popular. We're almost full. It's not too late to sign up, but it's very, very popular. And so I think where there's just a tremendous amount of opportunity is to increase the awareness of the retreat season and what a resource it is for the diocese and the surrounding area. And we do have a number of groups that come, but there's definitely opportunities for people who haven't experienced it to come and visit us and bring their groups. And so that's something I hope to share with folks is what a wonderful resource it is for retreats and to kind of take a few days to step away from your busy life and encounter Christ in a different environment.
Yeah, and again, it's such close proximity, but you do feel like you are away, even within the busyness of Lake Panorama and all the many people who have residences there as well. But, and this certainly amplifies some of our priorities with our strategic visioning in the diocese to speak and welcome and help form and accompany young people and activate them in their faith. And I think the retreat experience is pivotal in that, just as I cited Pope Francis in my prelude segment, to have an encounter with Jesus Christ. And of course, it's through our peers and others that so often, mingled with the sacramental life, and the chapel is so beautiful there, the opportunities for worship and praise and all that's there, and to experience God's mercy too. But this can be a year-round experience, and I really credit some of our young priests too who have made themselves available, whether it's Father Max and Father Jake Epstein, or Father James Downey, Father Alex Kramer, Father Reed Flood, among others, who follow in a long line of our brother priests who've been part of this. There are spots available, but you're starting to get interest in booking from people at the rest of the year beyond the Catholic Youth Camp.
Absolutely. We're still booking for fall, and we started booking for fall, and we'll have opportunities throughout. We have many groups that come each and every year, and so they want to make sure they get those spots that are traditional for them, but there's still definitely opportunities to be on our calendar for the retreat season. Mm-hmm. And something you said also reminded me on the camp side that, we also have volunteer counselors, and that's such an opportunity for them to lead and also to share their faith, but it's also just an experience for them as well. And so that's just another level that I didn't realize, is so powerful for these young volunteer counselors to minister to younger campers and to have those leadership experiences.
Mm-hmm. And then themselves discover a vocation. Ben and Marr Friedman now found love in each other, and so vocations unfolding in lots of ways beautifully. The capacity of the Catholic Youth Camp over the summer is probably, 1,750 total in all the sessions? Or
Yeah, about that. Yeah, our number that we kind of have each week is about 160 campers, but then when you add the volunteer counselors onto that, who are having a camp experience as well, so that's about right. That's 1,700.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And your predecessor, Alex Kautsky, both director of the St. Thomas More Center, but she had a deeper hand, I think, in the Catholic Youth Camp itself, right? Both by inclination and by, I think, job definition. Your role, you're going to have maybe something of a distinction there, and how do you see this as liberating you to take on other responsibilities in foci?
Yeah, I think my understanding is that Alex kind of started her journey as more at camp and kind of grew through to the position of executive director. So I think that just was a natural inclination for her. I certainly love camp and would love to spend time at camp as well and have that in my background. But, I really see my role as creating the conditions for the success of our other leadership team members and for those young people who minister to, the campers and the retreats. And so, I want to make sure that, we can offer the resources and the setting necessary for all of that to happen. And so, engaging with donors, engaging with people in settings like this, letting people know about the St. Thomas More Center, and then just, operating certainly the business side of it as well, and making sure that we're able to be successful for a long, long time. It's a special place.
Yeah, and having had one board meeting, you've already impressed me of your savvy on that front too. And this is what we need, to be good stewards of what something has been entrusted to us. And it is a worldly organization as well as a spiritual one too. Let's give a little shout out to some of your other staff with whom you collaborate and just kind of recognize them on air, if we could.
Oh, please. Sure. Yes, yeah. That's one thing you said. Asked me what struck me. I'm just so pleased to work with such a great team. So we have our camp director, Sadie, and she's just fantastic, and she also kind of grew up at camp as a camper and then a leader, and she just knows camp in and out. Our office manager, Lizzie, has done a fantastic job of showing me the ropes on the kind of the business side of things, and I've learned a lot from her as well. And then our facilities manager, Marty, work closely with him because he lives on site. So he and I have been neighbors for the past several months and strategizing how to get ready for camp and some longer term things as well. But it's just such a great team, and I'm very fortunate being new to this role to have been able to learn from all three of them. Yeah. And then, of course, there's our full summer staff and the seasonal staff and the board and all those others who support the ministry.
Yeah, and many of whom, have kind of come through the pipeline, themselves as young people, and it's just it's really made an impression on me. What this is truly a ministry and an extension of the body of Christ in such a vital way for us. Also, we think about the mission by uniting our Catholic faith and fun. We serve youth and young adults as they become joyful missionary disciples of Jesus Christ. So that says it right there in such a tremendous way. Any practical considerations for people listening? Obviously, we're almost filled, so the parents are at peace and enthusiastic about maybe dropping off their young people for as much as a week. Any things following the pandemic that we're still attentive to, or anything that the culture's had to take into accommodation, or are those things kind of all the wraps are off? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the pandemic definitely taught us to be more aware of just good safety practices overall that will continue, just simple things of hand washing and good, cleaning procedures and things like that. But thankfully, and for the most part, we're back to, having an experience in a group living situation that we were able to have before. So that's something we're thankful for. As far as practical considerations for parents considering camp, we do have a few sessions for maybe first-time campers that are a little bit shorter. They start on a Tuesday and end on a Friday, so that's at the beginning and end of the summer season. So those are opportunities for those families who are thinking, we want to try this, but we might not be ready for the full week. So that's something definitely to consider.
Not as acute a homesickness then.
Right. Yeah, just a few nights away. And so that's a great opportunity. And then we do have some spots for each of our age groups, elementary, junior high school, and high school. And so some of the weeks are full, but we do have a few spots for each of those age groups.
And individuals who have challenges in the physical or mental disabilities, persons they can be accommodated as well.
Yes, absolutely. I just had a great meeting a few weeks ago. Is it Patty Origer? And she provided wonderful resources through the diocese of working with people of varying abilities. And I have a little bit of that in my own background. One of the camps I worked at was Wisconsin Lions Camp, and worked with children who were deaf, hard of hearing, blind, visually impaired, or had mild cognitive disability. So that's close to my heart, and something I think we can continue to look at Catholic Youth Camp, how we can expand that ministry.
Truly inclusive then in such a marvelous way. Well, once Father Alex Kramer makes his way back from Rome, he's the former Eagle Scout, and I think he's just kind of not a Pied Piper figure, as some of these priests are. But were you a scout at any time, or is that something I did
Cub Scouts when I was really little, and then I don't know really why I moved away from it. But and then the only camp experience I had was with my cousin at a Catholic residential camp in Wisconsin, and but ironically, even though it became my career and so important to me, I had limited experiences as a camper growing up. It really wasn't until I became a counselor at age 18 that I realized the power of this experience.
Wow. Well, Jason Anderson, you are a true asset already to the diocese. I hope you'll be prudent enough to give yourself a little bit of downtime in between some of the sessions, that you're all in here, but may you find refreshment, but also blessings as you take on this new chapter in the life of the St. Thomas More Center.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me this morning.
Thank you. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by the Sarah Vocations Ministry, including the St. Sarah Club of Des Moines and the Sarah Club of Council Bluffs. Sarah is an apostolate of the Worldwide Catholic Church dedicated to fostering and supporting priesthood and religious vocations. Sarahs strive to accomplish their mission through prayer, fellowship, and service to the bishop, priests, sisters, and all in religious formation, and in doing so to increase their own holiness. Learn more at joinsarah.org, joinsera.org. Thank you, Sarahs, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming comes from the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. Since 2020, demand on food pantry services at St. Vincent de Paul has increased 40%. You can help support this growing need in our community at the Chip In for Charity St. Vincent de Paul Golf Fundraiser to fight hunger, Thursday, May 25th at Copper Creek Golf Course, 10 a.m. shotgun start. 100% of the proceeds will go to fight food insecurity. To register or learn more about sponsorship opportunities, visit svdpdsm.org, svdpdsm.org.
Welcome back to Making It Personal, Bishop Joensen.
Well, thank you. It's good to have Jason with us, but and sometimes we would continue with our guests. But another purpose, we want to devote some of this time in a special way, and it's kind of poignant and bittersweet for us as well. But Kelly, I've been very blessed to collaborate with you for almost 3 2/3 years since becoming bishop, making it personal. You've been the consummate professional and host, but your time at the Diocese of Des Moines, as you've discerned that the Lord is leading you to other pursuits as well. And so just share with our listeners, and maybe we'll just kind of talk a little bit about some of the experiences.
Sure. Well, I've loved being at the diocese, for over 10 years. It's been a great opportunity. Of course, my faith is everything to me, so that was extremely poignant. Tom Chapman actually told me about this job.
Of the Iowa Catholic Conference, former chancellor of the diocese.
Right, because I was an intern of his.
With him?
At the Iowa Catholic Conference when I was doing my graduate degree. And so then he called me and told me about this job a few years later. So yeah, it was very nice. So my new position, as you know, I'm a farm girl at heart. Grew up on a farm, worked on the farm. My dad was a farmer, long line of farmers. This job will be with the state of Iowa, with the Iowa Economic Development Authority. It'll be doing community relations, operations, communications, marketing. It really struck me because I am from a very small town. My hometown is Helber, Iowa. Most people have never heard of it.
That's crossing the line into the Sioux City Diocese, but so many from Carroll County have found their way in central Iowa.
But I can now say Templeton is not too far away. I went to Catholic grade school in Helber and Templeton. Now people know Templeton Rye, but Carroll is where I went to Kemper Catholic High School. And so, my hometown is 300 people. So the projects I'll be working on really spoke to me. It's Project Main Street, empowering rural Iowa, helping them attract jobs, building relationships with these people, attracting people who want to live there, want to work there, and the vitality. And of course, it's staked in farmers and agriculture. And agriculture has a huge impact on our economy as well. And I understand that. My background is in agriculture. I worked at the Iowa Soybean Association and Iowa State University. So that's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, so you are a woman of the soil, and this will not be explicitly have a faith component to it, but you'll bring your faith, which is so woven into the fabric of who you are, ardent supporter of all things related to the life issues, a Pulse Life board member that you've been there. Yeah, I was, and you kind of handed that off in other capacities, but interested in the human, and I think we speak of a human ecology. The three last popes have really focused on this in some of their encyclicals, but economic development is a component of that, and to be able to promote that is very consonant with our faith, and to create this culture, I think, that continues to inculcate the values that are dear to us, the respect for families, the stewardship of the environment, the ways in which, integrity in speech and in comportment, the regard of the bond among generations and all that's there, and to kind of transmit that, I think you're going to be a key element of that. Not without regret as we say goodbye. Your role on the Catholic Mirror as a person who brought stories to life, an excellent writer. You could edit things that I had produced on occasion. But then a whole new dimension, too, as you were formed in some of the technological video and other kind of media production things. So is that going to be an aspect of what you're taking on?
This is a new position. So I was kind of told that the doors are wide open. So there'll be a lot of writing, but there's I have a experience in graphic design and video, and I'm looking forward to using all of those skills. Okay. Yeah. So. Well, we need to be capable of availing ourselves of all these kind of things, and the position, I think that bringing in the social media, boldly and clearly communicating our church's teachings, and obviously a successor there. But we wish you many blessings. You're not going to be a stranger. You're remaining here in Central Iowa. That's you right. And Jason. Our offices are not very far from the pastoral center.
So please,
you can't avoid me.
Please stop by, and I don't know. I remember the stroll that we took through the Iowa State Fair. You kind of introduced me to that again. That was I
had to drag you through the sheep barn.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
yeah, and then my first day is actually the feast day of Saint Isidore, the patron saint of farmers. That was not obviously that's the date they chose, but I took that as a sign.
Providential. Well, God's blessing and much love to you, Kelly.
Thank you so much. This has been another edition of Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen.
You can hear Making It Personal with Bishop William Joensen every week on Iowa Catholic Radio and iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio and Making It Personal is provided by Sarah Vocations Ministry. Learn more at joinserra.org.